Hello, this is going to be a short video on just how to navigate the Canvas site. And now I know a lot of you are very familiar with Canvas, you've worked with it for other classes, but every professor, every instructor does it a little bit different, sets it up a little bit different, so I just want to run through how I have it set up. So this is English 102 online, and it's a 12-week online course. That means that what is usually presented and expected in a 16-week course is crammed into 12 weeks. It's not cut. There's nothing left out. It simply means a student has 4 less weeks to do the work that is usually generated in a 16-week course. So it is accelerated, it is busy, but it is definitely doable. The key is to manage the time, to look at the schedule, to be aware of what's coming up, and to reach out to me with any questions you have, and be sure, please be sure that you are reading the feedback that I leave on assignments. I'll be leaving comments on nearly every assignment, big and small, to let you know if you're heading in the right direction, to offer feedback, to offer suggestions, or even a pat on the back. But be sure that you read my comments and my feedback to make sure that you are headed in the right direction. So as far as this page, it is just some tips on how to kind of work through this project. This semester. And I have the semester organized into modules. And with each module, and they're usually, I think there's only 1 or 2 times when this isn't the case, they are usually organized to where the weeks correlate with the modules. Module 1 is week 1, module 2 is week 2, but it kind of deviates from that a little bit later in the semester. Make sure that you work through those modules. I will be sharing a video explanation of the week's activities and learning materials at the beginning, usually the Saturday before the upcoming week. Please watch those videos to make sure that you know what is expected. They will be about, I don't know, between 7 to 10 minutes long, but they will be worth the time. They will save you that much time in frustration and asking questions and all of that. So please watch those videos. In fact, I'm going to go over here and go to the home page and look at what's here. And so I have down here shortcuts to each module, and you can reach the same page by going over here and clicking on modules. But before I do that, I know we have the to-do list right here, which can be convenient in some cases. And there's also the calendar. Now the calendar, I do not maintain in this class. Some of the projects transfer over there, but it has always been notorious for skipping assignments, and so I just don't use it. So do not rely on the calendar, and do not simply rely on the to-do list. If you go on the to-do list, you will miss all of the learning material, and you will not know why or how or for what reason you are doing these assignments. And what happens then is, without that how-to knowledge or understanding, you won't be able to transfer the skills that you were practicing out of this class and into other situations out there in the real world. So do not just do the to-do. If you open up the modules, I'll go right here to the modules. The first one is module 0, and it is just a bunch of tips and resources on text supports, on Canvas, on resources like, counseling services, tutoring services, questions like that. And then you'll see here as I run through, we've got module 1, and for each module I will have instructional content followed by the activities and the assignments. These are going to be what you submit that week. All right. But make sure that you do not skip over this instructional content. This is where I will have the major project instructions. I will have really important handouts and tutorials and videos where I'm explaining different things. And so don't skip over those. But that's how each one is going to be organized. We'll go through here to week 3. And same thing, instructional content, activities, and assignments. Now these modules, they will all be visible here on this page, but the actual assignments will open section by section. That means this first project, as we are working on the autoethnographic essay, all of those modules that focus on that assignment will open the first week of class. Then once we get into the second project, which is going to be a synopsis, a research synopsis report, once our final autoethnographic research essay is submitted, then the next assignments will open. You'll still be able to visualize them or open them or read them here, but you won't be able to submit them until they're open, okay? So read over this, make sure that you know kind of what's expected and when and how it is opening. Over here on the side, make sure, I'm going to open up grades. It won't have anything here because I'm just in student test mode. But make sure that when you go down here that you check on your assignments and not just the grade. Once I grade them, there will also be a little icons over here that have a word bubble and they have the feedback. I would open each assignment up and look for my feedback. Read my feedback on each and every one of them. All right, we'll talk about BrainFuse. It's a good, kind of off-site writing tutor program or service that we will talk about later in the semester. And there's a bunch of resources here for students. So just take your time to look around and become familiar with our Canvas. So I'm going to go home really quickly. I also highly encourage you to go into your account and set up your profile and set up your notifications so that when any instructor makes an announcement or sends you a message, that you get a notification for those so you don't miss any of those. All right, reach out if you have any questions on navigating the class or anything. Right,